I am speechless, I say, before I'm about to go and give a massive speech about the game last night. But I'm in massive shock. I can't believe we've won that game. I went on the preview Friday and said, but I'm going to say 3-0 Newcastle if I'm being truly honest of what I feel. No belief whatsoever. And boy, am I happy to be proved wrong. And there is a massive conversation to be had about Lopetegui and his future and what this means. And we're going to have that conversation once I try and process what the hell happened in that game. Games like that where you do not expect to get anything, where you expect to get battered and you win, that are the sweetest victories ever because you're not expecting it. And that's why I always hate being confident going into games. It makes me feel uneasy. Like, I feel comfortable when I am dreading it because things like this can happen. And Newcastle, on the back of 2 wins, look to have found their goal scoring form again. Isak, absolute menace in front of goal, was backing and firing, and we were struggling. Honestly, on the back of that drab Everton performance, I did not want to see anything from this manager again. There was a big conversation from fans about, we'll take the L, get rid of the manager. I never want to see my team lose. If it's up to me, I would like to see Lopetegui become our greatest ever manager because it means West Ham succeeds. But for me, who at first didn't want the manager, then backed him and gave him a chance, my patience was really starting to run out. And I'm still not convinced. I'm going to get into that. I'm still not convinced on this manager. But overall, that was much, much better. And it goes to show, players in their best positions. Lopetegui has been overcomplicating something that should be so simple. Soler is perfect proof of that. Right? A great performance yesterday in centre midfield, his actual position. Not on the left wing, not in the 10, in centre midfield alongside Souček, who also had a good game yesterday. For full credit to him, obviously I'm one of his bigger critics. Love him as a person, his personality, but criticise in terms of what he can do on the ball, but still perfectly balanced. And Lopetegui has been moving and changing players round all season. We've seen it with Kudus on the left. Kept doing it. Look, we've got a left winger on the left. We have a number 10 in number 10. We have a right winger on the right. A centre midfielder in centre midfield. Like, just keep it simple. Play players in their best positions and you'll get to see the best of them. Play a balanced midfield and our midfield looks better. Not playing 2 defensive midfielders, a Rodriguez and an Alvarez. This is my frustration. And we've seen it time and time again. The experimentation week in, week out has held us back. I have always maintained that these are not a bad group of players. We have a good squad much better than what we've seen. And it's on this coach to get the best out of them. And he hasn't been doing that. Substitution-wise, I've always praised him for. He gets his substitutions right because his starting lineups are so wrong. And we're still starting games poorly. Because, boy, was we on the back foot in that game. It was typical Lopetegui West Ham up until we scored. We could not keep hold of the ball. We could not maintain possession. We just gave the ball away so cheaply and opened ourselves up. And they opened us up very easily. But thankfully, Fabianski had a good game. The defence dug in and we was able to score our first set piece of the season. And boy, did it come at the right time because we got that, gave us the confidence, it rattled them, and it turned the game on its head. Paqueta had his best game of the season. Paqueta still frustrates me in how much he loses the ball. Creative players do lose the ball a lot, but he needlessly loses the ball. He seems to lose the ball more often than, retain the ball or make a successful pass. Well, in that game especially. So I want to see that improve, and hopefully that performance gives him some confidence. Lopetegui, the pressure was really on his head. And this has to be a turning point for him. If he's going to stay the manager and he's going to win these fans over, because I still don't think that's enough to win the fan base over. But if he's going to, this is the baseline now. I'm going to be very, very interested to see what he does with this starting lineup when Kudus is back. Because Somerville has been such a bright spark and Kudus is not a left winger. So he needs to get the balance right. That's what this team has lacked. Balance. I think Europe is going to be a real push this year, even if we do kick on from here. Although with the way the league is, it is wide open. It is wide open. It just needs one team to get consistency, but I'm a long way from being convinced that we can get some consistency. I need to see it. I need the evidence to see week to week good performances for majority of games, not a good second half. I need to see good performances. And for the majority of the game, yes, we did play well. Now, I said we had some shambolic spells where we gave up so many chances as we've been doing. But at the same time, we had majority of the game, we played brilliantly. We dominated the possession. We had a lot of possession in their half. We created an abundance of chances that we don't usually do, like clear-cut chances, something we've struggled with in the past. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. But I need to see that week to week now for me to really get on board and feel like, yes, Lopetegui is the man. I don't want to just sack Lopetegui for the sake of sacking him, right? If we don't need to. Because my worry is as we get into this busy December period, we sack him. There's no clear interim manager available that we can bring in. We haven't got one within the coaching team. So we go and just get the easiest manager available. Go and get Edin Terzic. Just because he's available and he's free. And we just end up in a cycle. The next manager, and I've always felt like Lopetegui is a transitional manager. He's not a long-termer. He's a manager to take us from Moyes to the next manager. Whoever the next manager is, I want exciting, ambitious appointment. That's something we've never seen under David Sullivan. And it does frustrate me that we have an owner that is looking at a manager and he's saying, right, you've got 2 games. You've got 2 games to save your job. If you're thinking about sacking a manager, just sack him. That's always been my mindset. But he has got a chance now. He has bought himself some precious time with that Newcastle win. I think December is his time. With so many games, find a rhythm. We're not in Europe. We're not in the Carabao. So we just focus on these Premier League games and we should come out of this with some significant points with the games we've got, the likes of Wolves and the likes of Leicester. Come out of here with some good points and good performances, and then we'll see where we are. That's what I want to see from Lopetegui. Play well, play good football, entertain us. There are going to be games where we're going to be on the back foot. I completely understand that. Let's see what Lopetegui can do. He's bought himself some time. I'm going to be very interested. I want to see consistency. Build on it.